Everyone, Omar here. Welcome back to the channel and to part 2 of my Sigma BF kind of sort of long-term ongoing-ish review. Not really long-term, it's an ongoing review. Now today I want to talk about video. This is going to be a short video about video, the video features of the Sigma BF, specifically about the autofocus. Now right now I'm recording myself on the Sigma BF and I'm also outputting the signal through a unidirectional signal converter. It's the only way it works for anyone who wants to try it. But this is what I'm recording on right now. So you've got the Sigma BF. This is the 20mm f2 that I have to return to Sigma tomorrow. And this is me overexposed because I'm on my phone. Let's see if I can drop that a little bit. But going into the Atomos Ninja 5 so you can see like where the box and stuff is. It's flipped. You can't like mirror it. You know what's weird about Atomos stuff? You can flip and mirror in all their cheap monitors, but you can't do it in their expensive recorders. Anyway, just side note there. The reason why I bring this up is because I want to show you that this actually is a pretty capable video camera, especially for talking heads, which is really most of the video that a lot of us are going to be using this for. You're not going to be shooting any client work with 230 gigs internal storage. But the reason why I want to bring this up in particular is because I think this camera, the software in this camera, I think it's kind of a test run for a larger project and potentially a flagship hybrid that Sigma is actively working on, if not field testing right now. So what do I base this on? It's a lot of things. It's a number of things, but really the main thing is the fact that the autofocus on this camera is so good. Photo autofocus, better than Fujifilm's. I have no problem saying that at all. Very good, especially considering the leap they made from their last camera, the Sigma FPL, which was lackluster to say the least. And then the other thing is video autofocus. Now, I heard so many bad things about the video autofocus on this camera. They decided to just knock it out in the middle of a photo shoot. That'll be part of next week's video, which is where I go really in depth into how I feel about it as a photo camera, how I feel about carrying it over the past month and whatnot. So I had Devin with me. She was my model for a portrait session. And I asked her to just do a quick walk towards the camera, which is what challenges the autofocus systems on all cameras more than anything else, the depth thing. So this is what we got. And I'll tell you when to stop. Go ahead. You can stop right there. Well, that is really bad autofocus, actually. Yeah, and that's understandably, that's very bad. I have no idea why it wasn't tracking her and why it refocused after a while, but that is kind of what I dealt with. And then I decided to walk it back and use the same recorder again to kind of like just show it to everyone, do my due diligence. We're out there anyway. Let me get the shot for that. And I accidentally held the shutter. I half pressed it while it was already recording, and I noticed something. Check out the clips here. Atrocious. Just for a video though, it's fine for photo. All right, go ahead. Start walking. If I half press it, it's fine. Stop right there. Throw me a few faces. I appreciate you following through despite that being horrible direction, but it's fine for photo. All right, go ahead. Start walking. If I half press it, it's fine. Stop right there. Throw me a few faces. I appreciate you following through despite that being horrible direction, but... Okay, so there is better tracking that is for some reason available only when you're half pressed rather than when it's actively recording like it is now. Like right now, there really aren't a ton of things to draw the autofocus's attention away from me. So I can bring myself forward. It's going to track pretty well. I can move back. And I don't really have any issues with it losing me or anything. It unfortunately does act a little better than my XM5 that I normally shoot my YouTube videos on. And to me, that's pretty significant. That's an indicator to me that they are prepping to release a flagship hybrid to really challenge the big three more than anyone else. The big three, of course, being Canon, Sony, and Nikon. The photo autofocus is already on par. It just doesn't have as many different modes and selection dials. So I haven't had really any problem taking photos of deer or photos of people, but I also haven't been in a dynamic scenario to really push anything to its limits. This is not really what this camera's for anyway, but again, we're kind of taking the software outside of this camera and saying, what else could it be applied to? And then the video autofocus, honestly, like I'd be perfectly happy with this. It reacts pretty well too. So this is me during the talking head. I wasn't paying attention to this. I don't think I went out of focus at any point in time. That's how confident I am in it. This is me putting a product out, like, ooh, check out this thing. You can see some of that pulsing. I might be below the minimum focus distance of that lens. Let's take a look there. Now it's still pulsing a bit. Not sure what it's locked onto. But then it jumps right back to me. Let's try that again. Interesting. But that's me being annoying too. Like I'm pretty close to this thing. And again, this is not a video focused camera. So why would they go out of their way to make their video autofocus that good if they're not going to be using it for something else? You see where I'm going with this? So I've got two theories based on this. Number one, there's another Sigma FP coming. And this one's going to have really good autofocus compared to the FPL. And who knows what megapixel sensor will have the Foveon sensor. That would be crazy. I don't think it will, because that would be an insane camera just to come out of the blue. But it is a potential. The other thing is they could be working on a flagship hybrid camera, because the L mount, they make the best L mount lenses, period. I will not hear any arguments when it comes to that. But there isn't a single camera system that will allow consumers, Sigma customers, to fully unlock the potential of those lenses. Now, famously, Sony, everyone knows this at this point, they limit all third-party lenses to 15 frames per second when it comes to photo mode, which for most people isn't a problem. But if you're going to spend money on the 300, 600, or any of their other premium sports lenses, you have considerably less incentive to go with the Sigma model, even though it's considerably less than the OEM Sony model, simply because of the fact that you can't use the camera body's full potential, which Sony claims it's like to protect something. I'm not buying it. I'm sure no one's buying it at this point. Each and every one of these camera manufacturers is directly or indirectly locking out third-party lens manufacturers out of their mounts. And Sigma is in a very unique position where they're the only third-party lens manufacturer that has also released camera bodies in the past. And then we have this newer camera body with software and autofocus and 10-bit L-log video and all this other stuff in a body that isn't even designed to shoot video. And the autofocus, again, this is the real big thing. You're not going to build an autofocus system like this that's this good if you're just going to throw it away in some random camera body. It's not going to happen that way. So Sigma, I know what you're playing. I want in on those first round of camera models, and we can talk about how you want to present that. But I know for a fact you guys are working on it. I know it's going to be video focused in a very large degree. And I mean, check out the channel name. Yeah, I definitely want to use that on a couple of jobs. Now, of course, image quality is pretty good. As you can tell, I'm not even shooting in L-log here. I'm shooting in their teal and orange LUT. Yeah, it's a teal and orange LUT, or their film sim, if you would like. It's they have a couple of them. My favorite one right now is Rich, although I am feeling the teal and orange because it's doing a pretty good job here. I'm not lighting anything differently than I normally do. This is a 5500 Kelvin little aperture Amaran light. And then this is just the ISO raised to the back to about 400, which was decent ambient for the background. And then I lit myself here. And there's no editing, no color grading. It's getting posted like this. And I think it's a pretty good aesthetic. So the image quality is definitely there. The autofocus performance needs a little work. Definitely needs a little work, but that half press shutter, whatever guesswork that the algorithm's doing is completely taken out when you half press the shutter. It just sticks on a person like nothing. And I don't know why that is, but it's fast. That's the other thing. There's no option right now to control autofocus speed or anything like that because, again, they probably didn't really care too much about putting it in there since the majority of people aren't going to be shooting video on this thing. But the potential's there. and it's just programming at this point. The tech is clearly in the camera, so they don't have to invest really too many more resources to refine that aspect of it. And of course, I say this about a person who knows absolutely nothing about the internal workings of cameras, which keeps me awake at night sometimes, considering I use them on a daily basis, but that's a discussion for another time. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to bring this up before I did like the big finale video where I'm talking about carrying it every day and where I did a bunch of photos with it and portraits and went to the city and wherever else, because I don't want it to get lost as a footnote, since this is a pretty important topic for the future of Sigma as a brand, for people who are investing in L-mount lenses. And, also I wanted to show that this thing could actually do decent talking head videos, in case you haven't and want to give it a shot. So with that being said, I actually have to go box this up so I can ship it back to Sigma in the morning. And where's the lens cap? Here we go. And as always, catch you at the next one. See ya.